No, always you. Why can't you just let it be, World Guardian?
Kirapak the Dragonkin, bound by the Elder God Jas to do her bidding. The boss Kirapak the Bound was released in July 2021 with the Elder God Wars 3 update. Today I'm going to show you an entire Dragonkin Slayer task that's done at hard mode Kirapak solo. I learned a lot and got some awesome drops. I've done a little bit of Kirapak on this account, but it holds a lot of unlocks for me. We've obviously got the Staff of Armadyl, but also the Greater Concentrated Blast and Scripture of Jas Codex will be really important to get. I've only done 58 hard mode kills and they were mostly on release as a trio. As for combat achievements, you may have seen in a previous episode that I got the Grandmaster achievement for Perfect Kirapak. I've still got a few to go and I'm not sure I'm going to tick off all of these during this Slayer task, but I definitely want to make inroads into it. Especially with my goal of completing the tier 4 combat achievements, there's definitely some doable ones in there. I'm by no means a master at this boss, but for those of you who haven't done it, and in an effort to make this content a bit more palatable to newer players, I'll give a really quick rundown of the hard mode fight that's 4 phases long. So, to start with, in phase 1, Kirapak will say,
"I'll tear right through you."
And normally he would throw out an orb that stuns you and deals magic damage, but if you stand under him at the correct time, you can dodge it.
"I will put you in your place."
In the second rotation of attacks for Kirapak, he'll jump up 3 times and slam into the ground. If you don't dive or escape away, he'll hit you for large amounts of melee damage.
"No, I control the threads of time."
After the flying phase, if you can manage to get Kirapak down to 50,000 life points, he'll phase into phase 2. This is what's called a lightning skip, because if you don't manage to do that, Kirapak for every phase will send out a wave of lightning, and that increases per phase from 1, 2, and 3. So on to phase 2 now. The only thing that changes between phases 1, 2, and 3 is that Kirapak will have an additional echo that will slam into the ground in random areas. You can simply just dodge them by doing escapes and surges like I showed before.
"Look at what you've done. You fractured the threads of time."
So after completing phases 1, 2, and 3, phase 4 looks a little bit different. Kirapak will spawn 3 different echoes, each with a mimic of your character attacking it. Those mimics have their own life points, and every time you enter one of the mimics, you will trade life points with it. The idea is that you don't want to let your mimics die, because when they do, Kirapak will do additional damage. So if you can manage your defensives and swap life points with your mimics, you'll be okay. Simply damage all the echoes down, and once they're all dead, you can begin attacking Kirapak. One last thing to mention is that there's an additional action bar during this fight. You'll see that to the left there down by my buffs. When you click this action button, you'll have 10 seconds, and after the 10 seconds are up, it'll revert you to the exact same life points, adrenaline, and cooldowns that you had before. And that's it. You can go on to kill Kirapak now. He's going to do a lot of damage, but you can manage your defensives and pray magic and you should be okay.
"No, just let me die. Let me die."
So without further ado, let's dive into 110 solo hard mode kills of Kirapak the Bound and hope to get some pieces of the fractured Staff of Armadyl.
Your timeline ends here.
It took me about 10 or so kills to actually get in the rhythm of this boss. Most of it was a DPS check, and I was eventually able to get my rotation down so I could skip the lightning attack in phases 1, 2 and 3. and after about 15 kills or so, I managed to snag my first drop. The Scripture of Jazz is huge for this account. It's a lot bigger than you think. I didn't have a good god book, and I do have a lot of pages for this, so this is going to speed up my kill times by 10 to 20 seconds at least. And as I said before, the more I learn this boss, the more I want to attempt combat achievements. So here's my attempt at killing all 3 of the echoes without entering them. I ate a lot of food here, but if you're better at managing your defensives than I am, then you should be okay to do this one. A little bit hairy, but we got the achievement done. Next up, I wanted to try killing all the echoes within 9 seconds of each other. Again, another one done. What I did find really helpful for this achievement was doing bloat on all 3 of the echoes, and then just making sure that your death mark wasn't going to proc it at the right time. You can just save your death mark till when you want to kill it, and then you get them all down to about 10k, and then you just blow them up one by one, and then move on to Kirapak. If you can manage your defensives, it's really not that bad. Time to take a break from Kirapak for a second and enjoy the sights and sounds of nature at my player-owned farm. The truth is though that the Kirapak break was actually enforced. I ran out of the 500 Elder Overload potions I made last year, and so I had to stop bossing for a week or so to upkeep those costs. With a full-time job in real life and Ironman upkeep costs to always maintain, I hope you understand why my uploads might be slightly sporadic. Whilst I'm starting out though, I always intended to release monthly updates at the latest, so at least I'm still on track for that. Anyway, onto those Elder Overloads. Here's a graphic I found on Reddit that I'll link in the description. It's a fantastic tool for tracking what potions, herbs, secondary ingredients I already had or needed to get. My goal was to make 1000 Elder Overload salves, and as I said, that took me about a week to try and collect all the ingredients I needed, some of which I already had, but really just to make those potions as well, it takes so long. I already have 200 million XP in Herblore, so it was a bit of a chore to make these. It took me probably about 30 hours in total, I'd say, to make these Elder Overloads. But I did manage to make 1000, and that'll last me for a few years at least. So I'll show you some of the few clips I got from that process. I went through about 150 botanist amulets during this grind, and every single time I made them I didn't think I'd use the whole lot, so I made about 50 at a time and I had to come back about 3 times. If you don't know what a botanist amulet is, it's a jade amulet that's enchanted with the level 2 enchant spell, and when it's worn there's approximately a 5% chance to brew a 4-dose potion instead of a 3-dose potion, so super helpful. If I was super prepared, I would have used the potion mixer machine to do some of the unfinished potions. Unfortunately, I only remembered this existed about halfway through the week, so a little tip for anyone that's doing mass potion production is to make use of this machine if you can in advance, it's super helpful. And so I was on to making the overloads. One thing that was super helpful was the batch overload perk from the Master Herblore Cape. It meant that even though I prepared to make 1,000 overloads, I actually was able to make a lot more. And there you go, I've got 1,049 overload 4 potions. So now it's time to turn them into elders. To turn them into elders, we first needed to turn them into supreme overload potions, and that was done by adding a super potion 4 dose of each of the different potions used to make it. So then to turn the supremes into elders, you just use primal extract and a fellstalk herb. And there you go, after that week-long break, we've got over 1,200 elder overload salves. That'll last us a long time, and I won't have to do this potion making again soon. And with that, we'll dive back into Kerapac and hope we can continue the good luck. We got our first piece of the Fractured Staff of Armadyl, 1 out of 3. I'm super duper happy. This was only about 22 kills into the Slayer task, so obviously really lucky. It also made me think, getting a piece this early into the Slayer task, there was no way I could complete the staff in 110 kills, right? Well, we'll see. It took me a while to figure out you can use a power burst of vitality, use the time warp, then go to a different node, and that will leave the original one on 20,000 HP as well as healing you as well. That was a huge level up for me, and it sped up my kill times by another 20 or 30 seconds. At this point I felt like phases 1, 2 and 3 were already mastered. I was always getting the lightning skips on every single phase, and if I was going to die or have any trouble, it would be on this 4th phase. Another scripture of jazz, not particularly helpful having a second one. But on that note, I'm really happy with the amount of manuscripts I'm getting. They're going to last me a long time. They recently changed it from whenever you get a drop of them, you get 2 instead of 1, and that really helps out. So, with just over 30 kills to go, I ran out of charges on my Essence of Finality, so I needed to get back to grinding Fortunate Components. I had 7 Master Clues here, which I might as well do, and then I mostly grinded Easies for those components. So nothing thrilling from the Masters, didn't get a Soul or Reaper Ornament kit like last time, but then I was on to 30 easy clues. And that left us just short on 42 Fortunate Components, so I had to go get a few more easy clues. There we go, and we're done. I've got over 50 Fortunate Components, so I can make an Alchemical Hydrix, break it down, and use the dust to recharge my Essence of Finality. Each dust provides 50% charge, so that should last a while with 9 more dust remaining. And I just wanted to show how I've been farming easy clues. So I've been set up here at the Ham members, and I've just got AFK thieving perks from my archaeology relics, as well as the light form prayer and the full thieving outfit as well. And then you can just sit here and you get about, I don't know, maybe 100 easy clues an hour. It's really fast. Back to Kerapac. Well, it happened. 2 out of 3. We got 19 more kills to go, so let's see if we can get the third piece. I know I've been absurdly lucky so far, but the worst part about this is knowing that the third piece could take 400 kills. You never know. As we near the end of the Slayer task, I wanted to try one more combat achievement. That being the Master achievement to kill Kirapak whilst 3 active time threads are still alive. My poor Hellhound took a beating this kill. I was eating a lot of food and using my defensives more often than I would. This one was probably the hardest of the combat achievements I did do, but I did complete it on my first try. And there we go, 110 kills done. Never lucky, I didn't complete the staff in the entire Slayer task. Obviously I'm just kidding, that's supremely lucky to get 2 out of 3 pieces and the Scripture of Jazz in that task. We also managed to do 2 Masters and 1 Elite Combat Achievement as well, so that's getting us ever closer to that Tier 4 Combat Achievement goal. And speaking of that, here's my combat achievements to date. Pretty close to completing the tier 4s, but I've still got a lot of elites to do, so I'll be dancing around different bosses trying to get those done. So we'll be back to Kirapak, but I need a break for now. I'm going to do something else. If you have any suggestions, or you'd like me to tackle some specific content, let me know. But otherwise I've got a new boss that I've been meaning to try for a while now, that's got a lot of goodies for me. But until next time, thanks for stopping by, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.